Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Wednesday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers were in action on yesterday, taking on none other than Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and the Phoenix Suns downtown Los Angeles at Crypto.com arena on yesterday, and it turned out to be a remarkable game. There is some controversy that we could talk about and that we are going to address. If you just stick with me, we're going to get to that. But I have a lot of highlights that I want to hit, especially just in regards to how far the Lakers have come over the course of this young season, because we know the injury bug hit the Lakers early on in the season, and they've been without complementary players for most of the season, and then they get one, lose one, get one, lose one, and that just became the nature of it. But I kept saying, when the Lakers get fully whole, then it's going to be hell to pay the captain. And we're going to take a deep dive into who we feel should be the best lineup out there for the Lakers. Because I'm going to tell you right now, and when I break down the game, the reason that the Phoenix Suns were even in the game, and we're going to break that down right now, as a matter of fact. So, we can talk about the play-in tournament and how important it is, because I, for one, will say this. I didn't think it was a very good idea. I thought it may have been gimmicky, but it has proven to generate interest amongst the fans and even amongst the players, generate a level of competition, a win or go home atmosphere, which is never really the case in the NBA, even though they did add the play-in tournament, we know, a couple years ago, in which you lose and you can still have a chance or opportunity to win, unless it's their first round and you lose and go home. But just an added element, and of course the $500 grand that is up for grabs. All the players who don't make as much as a LeBron James is definitely wanting that money. You got a player might make $3 million a year, $1 million, $2 million a year. That's a lot of money to them. You know what I mean? That's like a quarter of their salary. So at the end of the day, they want to hoop, they want to put on a show, and of course, they just competitors. And Austin Reaves alluded to that after the game, and Austin Reaves had a great game. We're going to talk about that in just a moment too. But first of all, we got to talk about LeBron James and another marquee matchup against Kevin Durant. Now, we're not going to talk about the history of LeBron James and Kevin Durant, because we all know how I feel about that. We can say that for another show. But what I do want to focus on is that of LeBron James and the spectacular game that he had on yesterday. LeBron James, at age about to be, 38, 39 years old, 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. Could have probably had the triple dub, but for y'all who keep saying he's a stat pattern, then why didn't he keep standing around trying to get a rebound? He was hanging out around the perimeter, not even crashing boards, getting boards opportunity when they came to him. But we're going to get into that too. But at the main thing is, another thing, 5 steals. And these weren't just swipe ball steals. These were steals where he was actually showing his IQ, predicting what these plays were going to be, what move they were going to make, just anticipating passing lanes on what Devin Booker and other players were going to do. And even one play against Kevin Durant, he was kind of offense defender, like he's gonna double, but not. And Kevin Durant just, think LeBron back over here, but not realizing he had the speed and left to close out and get the ball back. Like, some of these plays on the defensive end at this age for LeBron James, I think was spectacular. But people say he doesn't play defense. I understand he doesn't play it as well as he once did in his early stages. And even people such as a Pat Riley will say he's taken off on the defensive end, which allows for his longevity. Well, whatever it takes to keep him playing this long and this good. Because one thing, before I get into the numbers, what I really want to point out is how LeBron James came out and orchestrated a beautiful game in the beginning of the first quarter. Boom, first thing, assist to D'Angelo Russell. Boom, come back, another assist to AD, pick and roll. He just orchestrated the game and just really assisted on damn near every play in the first quarter. You talking about LeBron James during this stretch in the first quarter, that's when they was up by 10 to 12 at all times. If you look at it, first quarter, Lakers 33, Suns 23, up by 10. And that was because of LeBron James. Now, D'Angelo Russell, this is something that needs to be addressed. And I know I've been iffy on D'Angelo Russell, and I keep saying that, I'm not a big fan of his, because I just don't think, athletically, his athleticism is lacking on the offensive end as far as being able to get downhill and break down defenses. Whereas you can see when Austin Reaves is in the game, he has more of that capability to draw contact, get downhill, make plays for others, and, hit threes in pressure situations as he ultimately did tonight. So in clutch situations. So that's something. D'Angelo Russell, he hit all them threes at the beginning. He hit all them threes whenever the Lakers are up. But what you going to do in crunch time, even wide open threes? You understand what I'm saying? But D'Angelo Russell, if you notice, when the third quarter came out, the Lakers was up, 33-23 in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, for some odd reason, let me address this for a second too. Darvin Ham, for some odd reason in the second quarter, decided to have LeBron James and Anthony Davis sit at one time. Then the league got cut from 12 to like 6 or 4 before he decided to insert Anthony Davis back in. Then he inserts Anthony Davis back in, and then LeBron James continues to sit, and then the Lakers really don't do anything except maybe go back and forth a little bit, and the game is tied, and then ultimately LeBron James comes back in, and they, still go up in halftime, up by 12. Starting the third quarter, here we come with the same starting lineup, which I saw that he elected to go with Cam Reddish and Taurean Prince. I maybe would have liked to see Vando in for either Reddish or for Prince, just because of what Vando brings to the table, and we're going to talk about that as well. But he elected to go with those two. Now, I will say Taurean Prince played great defense. He really got into KD body, and he really bodied him up, made him, put pressure on the ball. He, made him uncomfortable in a lot of situations, although KD still was elegant in his shot and made some big-time shots over Taurean Prince, outstretched arms where you couldn't do nothing but, hey, I used to have a rap song back in the day. I might have to redo it. It was called What Can You Do But Hate It? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I just want to say this. If he would have put Vanderbilt in instead of I would probably say keep maybe a Reddish in, but neither one of them, to be honest, have been reliable from the three-point shot. We know that Cam Reddish did hit a big shot earlier in the year. I believe it was against Dallas. If I'm not Dallas, maybe Golden State, whoever it was, hit that game-winning shot. But ultimately, I mean, he's just not been a great three-point shooter. But the more, the better. But at the end of the day, Cam Reddish has proven his worth on the defensive end of the floor, because Cam Reddish is doing the same thing, getting steals, getting blocks, getting deflections, stymieing the other players' offense, being probably one of their best on-ball defenders that the Lakers have. Cam Reddish is doing that. Prince, I would say so, but I would say Reddish better. So if that's the case, Reddish could give you more of the offense that Prince is not giving you. If Prince could get consistent and get up to around 39 to 40% on his threes, then that's fine. But the good thing about it is the Lakers have four good wing defenders or players, I say. I won't say both ways, 3-and-D guys, and that's Cam Reddish, Vanderbilt, Taurean Prince, and Cam Reddish, Taurean Prince, and Hachimura. So Hachimura, he came back last night. You could tell the mask may have been bothering him just a bit. And what I feel bad about Hachimura, man, he had a great offseason, worked out with LeBron almost every day. So at the end of the day, he just has to get back comfortable. He had a nose injury. He had the contusion, he had the eye contusion, he had the concussion, so he just hasn't been able to get into a rhythm. But I digress. So enough about all that. So back to what I was saying about LeBron James. 31 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists, 12 out of 25, only 48% in shooting, but 2 out of 4 from 3, 50%. But a lot of those shots was bunny shots where he was missing right at the rim. He missed it, get a rebound, miss it, get a rebound, tip it in. Those count for shot attempts, so that ultimately lowered his percentage on yesterday. But he was one of the main key stats that jump out at me is he was plus 12. Now, by him being plus 12, that shows whenever he sat down, the Lakers were in trouble. As soon as he came back in, they were back good. And even Darvin Ham said in the post-game presser that LeBron James is the best quarterback, bar none, in the NBA. And honestly, what I would like to see, and I don't want to put that pressure on LeBron James to have him doing so much, but he is a primary ball handler anyway, to make the lineup LeBron James and Austin Reaves in the backcourt as your starters. And let LeBron James and Austin Reaves facilitate. That is your death lineup. Because when you got LeBron James and Austin Reaves, you have two playmakers who trust one another and play off the ball well with one another. And you have Anthony Davis. Both of them are good in pick and roll with Anthony Davis. LeBron James is great in pick and roll with Anthony Davis, whereas D'Angelo Russell, time in and time out, makes poor decisions in the pick and roll with Anthony Davis. He will just... Anthony Davis at the pick, he'll go roll, the defensive play drop coverage on both, and he'll just, I know you're supposed to pull up and hit the shot, but make it. It's a 12 to 15 footer, make it, but then other player come out, and he might have a chance to maybe throw a oop or get it to Anthony Davis. The thing is, if the defense reads your pick and roll well, you don't have to execute by either shooting it if you can't get it to Anthony Davis. That's not the only option. You could throw out to the weak side and reset the offense anytime, unless you just late in the shot clock. But at the end of the day, D'Angelo Russell, if he can play off the ball more of a two guard, and you let LeBron James, that would even work. And then I'd be fine with that. And I don't care what y'all say. I've been watching this basketball and dealing with it for a long time. What I'm telling you is, if LeBron James was the primary facilitator on the offense, let D'Lo, like on the first play of the game, LeBron James came out, facilitated, bam, draw in the offense, kick it over to D'Lo to where he's wide open because he's drawing in the defense. Then he's kicking it over to D'Lo so D'Lo can make the shot. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Now that works. But at the end of the day, my lineup for the Lakers to make them a very dominant force would be the length. Man, think about this. LeBron James playing point guard, him and Austin Reaves in the backcourt, right? Now you got length in the backcourt with LeBron James at his size, and then in the three spot, you can still have Cam Reddish, who's capable of spreading the floor somewhat. Jared Vanderbilt, who I think eventually will be able to spread the floor better once he can get into a rhythm. We hear he's been working on that three all summer, maybe in the corner, but who cares? Vando, to me, is one of the ones who win the game. And if you look at it, but let me get back to these stats for a second, just so I can break it down for you, because if you look at plus minus, Prince was still a -7, right? Prince was a -7. Reddish was a -7. Prince was a -12. Reddish was a -7. And Russell, D'Angelo was a -7. So those are three players who were negative on the floor. And most of that is because they were in the game with D'Angelo Russell. And he kept making mistakes on the offensive end in pick and roll situation and taking bad shots and forcing things that ultimately, and getting beat out on the other side because he's just not a great defender. So ultimately, that led to the other players' numbers sagging as well. But once D'Angelo Russell sat down, that's when you come in and you start to make a run. It's just clear as day. Go back and watch the film and see if I'm lying. And then if you look at players who only had, like if you look at Vanderbilt, he had 1 point. 1 point, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, but he was a +6. Hachimura only 7 points, but he was a +5. Hayes, 0 points, but he was a +12. And I like what Jackson Hayes brings to this. And then they robbed him out of one thing, saying it was a foul when he jumped up way high and blocked that shot. So he should have had a block notch. But they simply said it didn't count. But I like, and even at one point to start the fourth quarter, just in case you didn't realize it, it was LeBron James, Jackson Hayes, Hachimura, Austin Reaves. It was a lineup, no AD, but they still hung in there with Jackson Hayes as the big man. And I just thought about it. I don't recall seeing any Christian Wood on yesterday. Is Christian Wood injured that I don't know about? Put in the comments and let me know. Because sometimes I miss something, but I didn't think he was a scratch. I think he might have been a DNP yesterday, and for good reason, because I tell you what, Christian Woods is kind of the same, and it's the reason why he's a journeyman and bounced around. Coach tried to give him a chance, but, he's another one he's a front runner. The Lakers winning by 10 or 15. Yeah, he can make threes then, but you're not making them when they're behind. You're not really just great on the defensive end. I mean, you're not a powerhouse on the inside, so where do you really fit in, when the Lakers want to play with pace with these great wings that they have, and, of course, LeBron James. So, oh, yeah, and I'm sorry, I must be remiss if I didn't talk about the great play of Anthony Davis, man. Anthony Davis, 27 points, 15 rebounds, 1 assist, 10 out of 26 for only 38%. But he blew a lot of bunnies too, because LeBron really should have had about 15 or 16 assists. But AD blew, man. LeBron had some nice passes on the inside to him, and KD just blew those bunnies. It just be like that sometimes. You just miss a little layup. It just, that's just the way it is. But at the end of the day, man, what was the telltale all other game? Before we get into the controversial topic, which I say for the end. So for those of you who hung around me for this long, I appreciate you. But if you look at it from a statistical standpoint, the Lakers shot field goals now, 37 out of 75 attempts for 40, Suns, 49% shot 37 out of 75 from field goal percent, right? The Lakers only shot 37%, right? You would say, well, the Lakers only shot 37%. The Suns shot 49%. And then the haters going to come, oh, they cheated for the Lakers. They cheated for the Lakers, man. Oh, that's what they want. Listen, the Lakers, although they shot 37%, they had that many more shot attempts than the Phoenix Suns. So if you look at it, and it's crazy, but I actually, man, y'all got to bear with me for a minute because I just want to see if this is right, because I put this in my notes, but now I'm looking at it again. I'm like, can this be right? I guess I could easily just pull up my calculator because, your boy does know how to do math, but my notes say the Lakers was 38 out of 102 from the field, and that's about right. That would be 38%. So the Lakers had that many more shot attempts than that of the Suns. So if you go back, as a matter of fact, let me just check it out right here on NBA.com, your go-to information, to the box score, and we shall see if that really was the case. Let's get a game recap. And I just really want to put this to emphasis because, that is big. And so the Lakers did have that many shot attempts, and it is because of the offensive rebounding. The Lakers 21 offensive rebounds to 8, and that is where Anthony Davis came in big because he dominated Nurkic in the paint. That's going to be an issue for the Phoenix Suns down the road. And let me tell you this right now, too. The Phoenix Suns have now lost 3 games to the Lakers this year. I know they've been missing players or whatnot, but at the end of the day, when it comes time for the playoffs later on in the year, that's going to mean something as far as tiebreakers as the Lakers continue their quest to move up in the standings and vie for a championship. Because I'm telling you right now, the Denver Nuggets, they'll be formidable. They'll be there. The Suns, they might be there. But the Lakers not fearing anybody in the West. And I'm telling you, this little in-season tournament is a good way to tune it up because I'm hoping for Milwaukee. I want to see this Giannis and LeBron and Giannis AD matchup and how that play out now that they got Dame Dollar. But, we cannot, I'm telling y'all right now, well, we'll break that down when we get to it, man. I done had long enough. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, and most importantly, hit that subscribe bell, please. And as always, man, it's been your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.